Learn English through story. The Path of Forgiveness. In a bustling city, there lived a successful lawyer named Rachel. With her sharp intellect and tenacity, she had risen to the top of her firm, becoming a partner before she turned 40. However, her career success came at a price. Rachel was known for her ruthless approach in the courtroom, often leaving her opponents devastated. While her colleagues admired her skills, they also feared her. Behind the polished exterior, Rachel was a woman driven by anger and resentment, stemming from a painful past. Years earlier, Rachel had been close to her younger brother, Daniel. They shared a deep bond, spending weekends exploring the city and dreaming of their futures. However, everything changed when Daniel was involved in a tragic accident. He was driving home late one night after celebrating his college graduation when he crashed into a tree. It was later revealed that he had been drinking, a fact that shattered Rachel's heart. She blamed him for his reckless behavior, and in her grief, she also blamed their parents for not being more attentive. In the aftermath of Daniel's death, Rachel's family fell apart. Her parents, consumed by their own sorrow, retreated into their grief, leaving Rachel feeling abandoned. In her anger, she severed ties with her family, convinced that they were to blame for Daniel's demise. She channeled her pain into her work, determined to prove that she didn't need anyone. As the years went by, Rachel built a fortress around her heart, refusing to let anyone in. One day, Rachel received an unexpected call from her mother, who was in town for a charity event. "Rachel, please come. It's important," her mother pleaded, desperation evident in her voice. Rachel hesitated, feeling the familiar surge of resentment. "I don't have time for this," she replied curtly. "Please, for your father's sake." "He's not well," her mother added, her voice trembling. The mention of her father struck a chord within Rachel. He had always been the gentle presence in her life, the one who encouraged her dreams. But the pain of her brother's death overshadowed any affection she felt. After a moment's pause, Rachel reluctantly agreed to attend the event. The charity gala was held in a lavish hotel, filled with glimmering lights and laughter. As Rachel walked in, she was immediately struck by the vibrant atmosphere. Guests mingled, raising glasses and sharing stories, while a band played soft music in the background. But amidst the celebrations, Rachel felt out of place, a spectator in a world of joy. When she spotted her parents across the room, she felt her heart race. Her mother looked older, her face lined with worry. Rachel approached them, her emotions swirling. "What's wrong?" she asked, unable to mask the tension in her voice. Her father smiled weakly. "We just wanted to see you, Rachel." "It's been too long," he said. "I've been busy," she replied, her tone defensive. They exchanged pleasantries, but Rachel's thoughts drifted. She was reminded of happier times with Daniel. Memories flooded her mind, laughter, adventures, and dreams shared. The guilt that had been buried deep within her resurfaced, mingling with the resentment she held against her family. As the night progressed, Rachel found herself standing alone on the balcony, gazing at the city lights. Suddenly, she heard a soft voice beside her. "Rachel?" It was her mother. "What do you want?" Rachel snapped, unable to hide her frustration. "I want to talk about Daniel," her mother said, her voice barely above a whisper. Rachel felt her heart race. "What's there to talk about? He's gone because of his choices." Her mother took a deep breath, tears welling in her eyes. "I know, but we need to remember him for who he was. not just how he died. He loved you, Rachel. He would want us to heal. Rachel shook her head, anger bubbling within her. Heal? How can we heal when we're all still hurting? I lost my brother, and you're asking me to forget? I'm not asking you to forget, her mother replied gently. But holding on to this anger will only hurt you more. We need each other now, more than ever. The sincerity in her mother's voice began to penetrate the wall Rachel had built. For the first time in years, she felt a flicker of longing for connection, for family. But the thought of forgiveness seemed impossible. Suddenly, the sound of laughter drifted through the open door, reminding Rachel of everything she had pushed away. As she stood there, caught between anger and sorrow, memories of Daniel overwhelmed her. She could still hear his laughter and feel the warmth of his embrace. In that moment, Rachel realized that her brother wouldn't want her to carry this burden alone. With a trembling voice, she turned to her mother. I don't know how to forgive you, a broken bar, or myself, she admitted. Her mother reached for Rachel's hand, squeezing it tightly. We can do this together. It's okay to grieve, but we need to let go of the anger. It's time to remember Daniel for the joy he brought into our lives. Tears streamed down Rachel's cheeks as she allowed herself to feel the weight of her grief. She thought of all the times she had pushed her family away, choosing anger over love. For the first time, she saw the futility of her resentment. Let's remember him together, Rachel whispered, the words flowing from her heart. As they stood on the balcony, Rachel felt a sense of release wash over her. It wouldn't be easy, but she knew that healing required vulnerability and connection. The path of forgiveness lay before her, and though it was daunting, it was also filled with hope. In the days and weeks that followed, Rachel began to rebuild her relationship with her parents. They shared stories of Daniel, laughed at fond memories, and cried together over their loss. The process of forgiveness was not linear. There were days filled with doubt and pain. Yet, Rachel found strength in her family, realizing that vulnerability was a source of power. As time went on, Rachel embraced the love surrounding her. She learned to cherish each moment, knowing that life was fragile. She began to find joy in the present rather than dwelling on the past. And as she forged new connections, Rachel discovered that forgiveness was not just an act of letting go, but a gift she gave herself. Years later, at a family gathering, Rachel stood in the backyard, surrounded by loved ones. The sun was setting, casting a golden hue over everything. She felt a warmth in her heart, a reminder of the journey she had taken. As laughter filled the air, she understood that while Daniel was no longer with them, his spirit lived on in their memories and the love they shared. In that moment, Rachel realized that forgiveness had not erased the pain of loss. Instead, it had opened her heart to love and connection. The path of forgiveness was not easy, but it had led her to a life filled with hope, compassion, and the enduring bonds of family. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.